Hi, welcome. Welcome to February, where it feels to me like we are woke in brand new energies today. So I'm Sharon Martin from Innocence Studios. I am a messenger for Gaia, and I bring through messages from her every day and then bring them through here on the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you might want to do that and hit the notifications bell. And I don't get on here every day, but I tend to get on here a few times a week in the main. The energies, this is the second live I have attempted. So I'm hoping, I've gone and got my giant grounding stone. I've got that under my left foot. I'm inviting all of you to do something to ground yourselves in a bid for us to be able to have this dialogue without the energies interfering, because we're in very high frequencies. So February, well, we've closed off January. Hello, Craig, thank you. So we've closed off January, where all of these new energies came in. They showed up to me as the spectrum through the light rays, if you like. We come in on these rays of light. It shows up in our rainbow. It shows up in our color spectrum. And so this is what I have been shown, is that in January we were bringing in the new in the spectrum, and that they came in, and then in the last few days they were being embodied and integrated, and it's a higher level. It's as though we are building a new structure because our bodies are being renewed, and that these are the foundational codes, the lights, the DNA that came in. So you could see them, the analogy that I was given is, see them as Lego in all of the colors. And what we've been doing is we've been receiving them. They've been coming in. They've been coming in to be embodied and activated within our DNA. And this is the foundation of our new higher energies. So we've the last few days we've been in the embodiment of that, and then moved in to today, and today feels different. Today feels gentler, smoother, easier. Just it has a greater feeling of peace and ease. So yes, hi Amanda. Yes, that's so good. You went to the sea and it felt amazing. Yeah, the sea is beautiful for that. Yes, so here we are. I've got notes here from the 30th through to today, and then I will do another video about what is happening with the divine counterparts, because there's otherwise I feel it will be too long. So I'll do this, and then I'll perhaps do that later on, or perhaps tomorrow. I'll see how I go. But definitely on the 30th, it came that we were in completion and settling of these energies that have been pouring into both the planet and the human body. A beginning opening is what I was told, to the next level of higher. And it showed up as this big open portal in the sky, as though someone had carved a hole in the sky, and I was seeing through to a whole new vista, a whole new world is what I was showing, our higher world. Internal of your body, internal of our bodies, you may have been having this experience of feeling that there are things going on in your body that are creating shapes, some geometric shapes. It's been showing up to me as a pyramid that is bringing you and me in our physical form some stability in these higher frequencies. So it's a pyramid or triangle shape where the base is across the hips and the point of the peak is in the higher heart. So this is a new foundational base landed in the physical. That's how I've been shown. So these codes, they are more filled with light. They are higher, they are finer in frequency, and they are now being refined, as are we, for this next level of upliftment. The impact in the body may be felt as density, as weight, as bloating in the belly. That's certainly been my experience. And also, bloating in the belly may be an indication of detoxing. So, I've been shown that bloating could be at both ends of that spectrum. The body feeling a little bit unease with the new frequencies, and so feeling a bit of anxiety around the new frequencies, and the body in its detoxification. So, bloating in the belly might come from both of those. So, yeah, on the 30th, I woke up and I felt like I'd been sort of gently pummeled with some boxing gloves, actually. Not bruised, but just like all over my body felt like that, like a tingling, this sort of enlivening and all over my body. So that was how I experienced that. But I felt tired and slow, and I felt challenged to do much thinking. My brain was incapacitated. So I want to say that it is likely that it also came with a big um, rush of hormones, a new hormone package for the blood, for the fluids. Also, the elementals. More and more of you will be seeing the elementals now because they are feeling safer in this higher frequency, so they're more willing to allow themselves to be seen. Right. So today, did you wake up feeling different? We have closed out January. We have completed the embodiment of our first strata of new codes. So think Lego blocks in each of the rainbow colours as a foundation wall for what is to come. But this is your codes, your DNA, your higher frequencies and activations for greater and higher psychic gifts. And especially at the moment, this is showing up very much as psychic vision. So a lot of people feeling energy in the third eye, in the center of the forehead and the occipital bone at the back, in and behind the brow bone, the eye sockets, and some in the nasal bones as well. So these are color and light diamond codes, and they are coming in now to bring us some new coding, some new activation, some higher frequencies, some access to higher information and knowledge, because we've cleared out now a lot of patterns, a lot of programs, a lot of conditions that relate to the masculine structure and systems within self, and that have held us strongly. We've been in pattern to hold strongly our energy in the brain, to be the thinking one, to be processing things through the brain. And we're moving into a new mode of operating now, where the brain will take on some different functionality, and where the frontal lobe is definitely taking on some new operations. And I don't know all that there is to know about it, but you will remember probably, I think last month, and then maybe last year at some time, when I did that human body 2.0, when I did a few videos around that. So this is the frontal lobe is taking on new functionality, and there's definitely this upgrade to do with psychic vision. So that's a part of that now. But I'm showing that the short-term memory gets rehoused into more of cellular memory rather than the brain. Hello, Beachwee. All right. So February, yeah. Let me see, what have I missed here? Yeah, so January numerologically was a 9-month. So if you add the month of the first month was a 1, and then the year is an 8, and that becomes a 9 universal month. So in January we were into completion and endings, and so that's what we've been watching close out. And then come February, in terms of that, we are dealing with both the 2 of the month and then a 10. So we'll have further completions, and then we'll be working with the rhythm, the flow, and the balance of the 2 and what it brings with it. And often that is balance in all of our body types, body parts, field components, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social, and in our communities as well. So a lot of energies coming in this month for balance, for bringing the balance in for the new. You might have, like I did, woke up this morning feeling calmer, feeling that there was just more settledness in the energy. So I get that February is going to be amazing and smooth and peaceful, or chaotic and challenging, depending on where you place your focus. So if you are focused on the lower, on the what is wrong, on the things that are happening around you that are a bit crazy and chaotic, that is what you will have as your experience. And if you focus on what you can see that is changing for the higher, the frequencies that are coming in, this experience of feeling your way, of believing what you know, rather of rather than believing what you see, seeing what you believe. That adage flipped over, because it's starting to land, but it might not be that obvious unless you tune in that energetic way. But notice where you take your focus to. So yeah, I am showing that there's balance and partnership and union energies coming in during this month. And so, yeah, the beautiful analogy that I have for you is to imagine that you are an accomplished dancer. And accomplished dancers do this. If they are doing a pirouette, they move their eyes and their head to where they need to go. Well, they move their eyes to where they are moving to. Their head follows, and then their body follows that. That's how we get through this time. So this, place your feet and keep your eyes on where you are moving to, whilst holding your body and moving with grace. So your new light codes have been activated now. And if you are able to see, if you have inner vision, psychic vision, then you may see them. How they show up to me is like a whole strip of LED lights. And it's not that we're becoming more AI, it's just that was the analogy I was showing. So imagine a strip of LED lights in all sorts of colors, twinkling and moving and shining and glowing. So our nervous system and our neural system is going to come online in a new way. I can't tell you a lot about it yet, but I do know that it's to do with our psychic vision and psychic upgrades. I don't want you to panic about the analogy of the LED lights, because we can choose. So some people might choose to enter into that stronger foray, if you like, of the AI world, and we can choose to not. But it's just that's how the DNA activation showed up to me. It shows up to me that in this month we will begin to use our upgraded system in new ways of operating. We will become familiar with it. It will be a bit like test driving a vehicle that is a new type of vehicle that we haven't driven before, and I'm sure that I will get more about it. But yes, as I spoke of last month and then last year. The frontal lobe begins to be being used differently now, and for higher function, for advanced psychic vision and telepathy. And you may feel that your brain isn't working at the moment. You may feel like you have empty brain. You may feel like you have, if you've been pregnant, you may feel like you have a pregnant brain. And this all links into this big change in our hormones. It's as though we're having a hormonal flush as a part of it, as a part of an upgrade. They are new. Our body is feeling them, our body is reacting or responding to them. Reassure your body that it's safe. Put your hand on your belly, breathe in there, put your hand on your heart, breathe in there. I also want to say that we continue to be moving more into balance and working with our internal golden sphere. That moves up and down in our internal column, containing some of these new codes and activations. And I want to tell you that there's this notion that came that we are working now with our divine light and innocence. So I want to speak that softly. It feels nuanced. It is that we're coming into this newness, this innocence, this divinity, this aspect of self that we kind of haven't driven before. We've seen, flashes of it, components of it. We've been in and out of bits of it, but it's going to become more of our operating system, more of the way in which we interact with one another. We're coming into our own ascension in a very strong way, and not everybody is doing that in the same way or at the same rate. But every one of us that comes into more of our ascension energies impacts around us, just as I spoke of the other day about that, the ink on the tissue paper, the sort of the magic of the 100th monkey effect. We're having that. So during this month, choose to be gentle with yourself, to be graceful, and to be compassionate with yourself. Really drop into your heart and feel compassion for yourself, because I want to say to you, and I don't mean this in any egocentric, patronizing way either, but you are special. You are special. You are here. You are on your ascension pathway. This impacts our entire planet and humanity. And so you be graceful and gentle and nurturing and compassionate with yourself as you are leading the way, as you're moving through this pathway that enables the pathway to be made wider for others to follow. Be with what is. Focus on the best, on the good, on the pure, and view with the eyes of the innocent as you are emitting your golden light that holds the fractals of all of the rays, of all of the colors that we are receiving in this higher frequency, and that we are going to be learning to navigate with. So much will change in this month. Jobs, houses, locations, cities, countries, relationships, purpose and focus and passion, and just be with it. Be the observer of yourself and of others around you. Don't make judgment about yourself. Just sit with what is and observe how it feels and go with what feels right. So we are really on the uptick of this massive change in order that we can come into the higher frequencies, the higher light, the higher dimensional way of being. It's like touching onto the fifth dimension and then spending a bit more time in it and more time in it, this assimilating, this acclimatizing to that. That's our experience this month. And it might be that you have times of feeling like you're sort of gasping for breath because you feel out of control. It might be like that. You might have those kind of motions. The belly might feel unease. But just breathe through it. Breathe in the light. Speak to yourself. There's also this came, many will have gradual or quick pulls. So gradual or quick pulls to new love, to new purpose, to new passion. This will come from the heart with love leading the way. The material world is losing its grip on us, on humanity, and the material gains, those things that we are trying to strive for, the money in the bank, the house that we own, the extra car, the caravan, the batch, the overseas holidays, all of that is going to start to lose its appeal. It isn't that we won't do those things, but the pull of the balance of that is shifting in our world because we are going to be coming into being more heart-centered, more driven from what our heart loves to do, and that's going to be bringing more peace, more freedom, more harmony, and more balance in life. That work-life balance is going to shift. A long time ago, Gaia said that we would eventually get to the place where people are likely to be working 20-hour weeks. And so I'm not saying we're doing that tomorrow, but that's where we're headed to. We'll be working 20-hour weeks in whatever our job, vocation, career is, and then we'll be doing other things that really fill us up, that really are our joy, our bliss. That is the thing that really makes us feel good, and we're moving from the service to self to service to others, and all of that now is going to begin to show up, and it certainly has been showing up with my clients, people who are saying that they are changing and moving, and people who are wanting to move jobs and need reassurance that it's the right thing for them to do because they are seeing that they've got all this experience and they've got these qualifications that they spent years training for and spent money on. Now they're being pulled to do new things, and this is the impact that the opening of the heart is having on our world. So love is going to be leading the way. So let love in and let love lead you to where you need to be, to what you wish to do, to who you wish to be with. It's not in a callous way, it's in this soft, stretching, shifting, moving, but it's going to get strong. The material world losing its grip as humanity, or on humanity, as material gains and possessions and accumulation of money and property, these things lose their allure. So the shift from service to self to service to others slowly shifts into view as this navigation of focus changes during February. So we're watching the navigation of the focus of all of that change, and then the other change will follow. Hello, Beachweave and Sally and Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. And thank you, Sally. Yes, it's going to be great for people to have their visions restored. So increasingly now, we will notice that energy, frequency, and vibration become important and valued, important to self, and an increasing value in society for humanity will be placed on this, on our frequency. This feel good, this vibration of love, this vibration of joy, of fun, of laughter, of commune, of sharing. Energy will become eventually our new currency. And this develops an awareness during this month in our world. Remember that whatever the question, really the answer is always love. So we will become more proficient with this adage as our bodies become more sensitive and attuned to the love vibration of our heart and of our energy field. The layers of the Taurus in the heart, the Taurus in our body, and the Taurus in our planet. So that shows up as an internal pillar in us and an internal pillar in the planet. But this ongoing torus that spins around the planet, up the top and in the bottom, and the same for us. And now I'm showing that it's actually moving in both directions. It's really interesting because the last time I was showing that was when we were moving through to the fourth. We were moving through to the fourth dimension. That's what Gaia showed me. And I said to her, what is that about? Why is the torus shifting directions? Why have we got this overlay? I don't understand. And she said it's to make the transition easier. So there was a fourth dimensional torus overlay. So now we have a higher dimensional torus overlaid. And again, so I'm just remembering that. So, that assists us in this transition. So we will increase, our torus will increase in speed, in vibration, as well as increased illumination. And get this, people will begin to shine. So as we raise higher in vibration and spend more moments in fifth dimensional and higher frequency, time takes on a more quantum experience. And I imagine that many of you already are in that experience. I certainly am. And I had a conversation with my son yesterday, and he was saying that he is like that as well. It's very difficult to keep track of what day it is, of what time it is, of what month it is, of what year it is. And this is our transition into this quantum time. And how Gaia has explained that to me. Oh, well, there's a couple of things. So I have a client who knows a lot about the quantum field, and she described it to me. You will remember me showing you once how she described it with this piece of paper that just curved around and touched in here, and that's the quantum field. This one little spot of connection can impact the entire field. And how Gaia has shown it to me is more of a plate or a disc, and how when we go into that disc with an intention, be that an activity or a thought, that disc or that plate expands and moves to meet the needs of the activity. So that was how she showed that to me. So I'm just going to read this again because this is important. As we raise higher in vibration and spend more moments in fifth dimensional and higher frequency, time will take on a more quantum experience, expanding and contracting to meet the moment. Because this is our new practice, to be in present moment in this now breath. That's our now breath. It brings us into that focus and that quantum moment experience. Those who are still focused and enmeshed in their very three-dimensional physical existence within the matrix, being very compliant and complicit, those people who have just been saying yes to everything, they are going to have a different experience to us, as they are woven into all of this through viewing the news and the chaos in the world. So their energetic is pulled into that. More and more what we do will be impacting that, but there will still be people who do that. What you appreciates, remember. What you focus on grows. Where you place your energy flows. And this is how we experience the new and the higher, by being in that present moment. And I'm saying to you to teach this to others, that being in present moment, that being in the breath, that watching what happens right in front of you. So don't bulldoze your way in, but when people inquire of you, or you seem balanced and peaceful and settled, you feel and look happy and smiley. What's your secret? It's that. It's being in the now. It's being in the heart. It's recognizing the energy of love. Gaia says, smile. Smile in the ease of your new embodiment. Enjoy the exploration of your higher light frequencies. It really is that we are in that exploration of the new, our body as the new instrument, the new vehicle, the new toy. Enjoy the exploration of your higher light frequencies. Feel the smoothness in your hearts as the love within spreads throughout. Be in constant flow of a receipt of your energetic flow through your Taurus. Begin this when you awaken and come back to this as a practice. When you notice and remember to do that until it becomes your normal way of being, that toroidal breath, you could call it that. So that breathing in and that breathing out using the heart Taurus and the body Taurus and integrating or intersecting that with the planetary Taurus. The streaming font, that's how you can see it, the streaming font or fountain of white, crystalline, golden, diamond light with all of the fractals in it, in our heart, in our body, and in the planet. So I'll just read these things and then I'll do the exercise with you so that it's clearer. So I've just got some notes here. I might have already spoken about this, but I'll read them in case I haven't. So we are experiencing this in the heart, in the body, and in the planet. The solar plexus is likely to relate to detoxification or this bringing in the new frequencies and the unease. Psychic vision upgrades will be plentiful this month, affecting your third eye, front and back. Remember the occipital bone, that soft cavity in the back here, and then the brow bone and in behind the physical eyes, and the temple and the skull. So all of those might be affected by this third eye psychic upgrade. Also, heart expansion of love moving up into the throat. So some people will be experiencing a need or a desire to clear the throat because this is expressing or learning to or practicing to express the energetic of love from the heart through the throat. This feelings from the self, and do it to self first. Practice with saying beautiful, loving things from your heart to yourself. Look in the mirror and do that. Speak it out loud to yourself so that you can hear the vibration and feel the frequency of the words. The vibration of love, the frequency of love is going to start to lead the way for all things in our world. And then you can teach that to others. You can offer, when you're in the flow of that, you can offer that energetic emission from your own energetic body. As others, let me read this again properly. Yeah, yes. Feelings of love to self and then to others. As it then takes on, it's really nice, a new precedent, this share the love thing, and a higher harmonic. And that song, Love is in the Air, was the song that came. So we continue to transmute during this year. Remember, we're only going up now as we continue to purge toxins, conditions and programs, patterns, intrusions and density. With this light coming in, we rise. We rise in frequency, we rise in dimension. We are the conduits for this transmutation. So we are both bringing in the light and transmuting the density out, firstly our own bodies, and then we will be doing it on behalf of humanity and of the planet. We will be adept at it. We will become experts at it. We will be developing mastery at it. It won't be affecting us. We will do that through this breath that I've just been speaking of. And I really liked this. Yes, so we are the conduits for this transmutation. This is a oneness exercise, a unity consciousness endeavor. We are expressing this too in the physical, in our bodies, to our communities, and to other countries. And so I just invite you to imagine that you are connected to Mother, Father, God, to Source, to Creator, that is where you're bringing this light from. So you're connecting to that light and you are bringing that in through the crown chakra on the in-breath. And then you're noticing it move down your central vertical column, down into the ground, and then down into the earth, into the core of the earth, and into the toroidal heart of Gaia, and then moving up, and then coming back up and into our own heart, into our own Taurus in the heart, and then back up to Source. And use that as a practice of this breath, this love breath, this love consciousness, this unity breath, this coming into oneness, this unity consciousness endeavor. That is one way in which we can be transmuting out and bringing in. The Taurus is Torrus, and it is an energetic field that has the shape of a donut with a hollow in the middle. So it moves up and around like that, but in all directions, and it spins at the same time. If you Google GIF torus or toroid or toroidal field, you'll find something that you can see. All right, so I will close there, and I thank you for joining me. And if you are here in New Zealand or in Auckland, we're in the midst of a beautiful sunny summer's day, and we really are in the new. And so keep your eye on keep your eye on the prize, and the prize is Ascension. And there is this knowing that we I feel that we are let's say we are in the game. We're in the game for Ascension at a planetary level before the end of April. I feel that March is a really strong time for that. You know that. I've put April on the end of it as an extension. And I feel that it can happen in a number of ways, but individually we can ascend, as a collective we can ascend, as humanity we can ascend, and as a planet we can ascend. And it shows up to me that it will come through like that in waves. So if you imagine the analogy we've used before about a big surf wave, and how there's waves coming into the beach, and then all of a sudden there are a bigger set of waves that comes in, that links into, that joins in on the back of some of the smaller waves, and increases both the flow and the speed and the height of the wave. And that is an analogy for how we might experience ascension. I feel that that's quite a likely way. And then when there's enough of that, when that wave is so big that it reaches the tipping point, then the entire planet ascends. We all ascend into our fifth dimensional space, as Gaia beautifully says, back to being the crown jewel in the galaxy, as the living library of the multiverse, and this intergalactic destination for travelers around the multiverse coming to the earth. So it's not that we're going to be invaded. It is that we are growing up and we are becoming more multidimensional. We are beginning to recognize who we are and where we come from. And so there'll be more interchange and exchange of ideas. As soon as we exit, that's why there's this war going on. It's to stop our ascension, to slow it down, because it brings people into fear. That's why I say to people, don't watch the news. It just brings you into fear. Fear is a vibration that's low. It will make you feel scared. You will lower your vibration. It will be harder for you to ascend, for your family to ascend, for all of us. So use that kind of discussion with people, but that's my understanding. That's why the war is there, to create division when we're wanting unity, to create separation when we're wanting oneness, to bring in fear when we're wanting ascension, to lower the frequency when we're wanting a higher frequency. So it's exciting, and let's hang in there, be using that unity breath and teach that to others, and let's invite humanity to come into love, and we'll ascend into our higher dimensional frequency and space. Okay. Much love, everyone. Catch you again soon. Hi, Golden.